Hi, I wanted to share a Hearing from the Holy Spirit Part 3 video. And I want to call this one The Holy Spirit as Counselor. I wanted to share my testimony that in about 2005, the Holy Spirit started to show me things in prayer and different situations in my life where I needed to forgive people. And it was completely Him being my counselor. He would bring up a memory or a hurt or a pain that I had, and He would talk to me about it. And it was so valuable because there's no way I could have remembered some of these things without Him bringing them up. And at the time, I couldn't afford a counselor, even though I would have loved to have just gone to a Christian counselor. And so I was really forced to depend on the Holy Spirit to counsel me. And I'll give you an example of what He would do. Like, I would just be in prayer or maybe doing dishes or going about my day, and He would bring up a memory that I hadn't thought of in years. And it might spark some pain in my heart, like, oh, that kind of hurt when that friend said this. And I knew that it was very important to forgive for every little thing we can ever think of every day. It's like a constant habit that we need to have, is to forgive. And so I would forgive the people in the memory, and I also learned that I needed to forgive myself and release offense toward God. And as I started to do that with the Holy Spirit, very simply, I noticed myself starting to change because wounds in my soul were being healed. And I was so excited when I first started doing that. It was way before I was a wife or a mom, because I knew that I was going to be able to help people in my future family get healed from life problems as they came up. And I just think that's so much more healthy to let the Holy Spirit heal us as we go, so that wounds don't rot in our soul for years and years. When we bury our emotions, that can cause physical sickness later. And the Holy Spirit doesn't want that. Jesus wants us to be happy and healthy. And there's a verse that says, I pray you may prosper. I pray your health may prosper. I pray you may be in good health and prosper even as your soul prospers. So I pray that you may be in good health and prosper as your soul prospers. And our physical health is directly related to how our soul is prospering. And one of the 3 attributes of the Holy Spirit is counselor. And so I encourage us to invite the Holy Spirit to bring to light anything in our past or present that has made us offended toward God, or angry at ourselves, or angry at anybody else. And we'd be surprised the little things He remembers as well as the big things. And He reminds us of them maybe through dreams or visions or scenarios where a relative might bring something up. Hey sis, do you remember when this or that happened? And like, oh yeah. And it's not only about forgiving, but it's also about letting the Holy Spirit acknowledge and validate the pain that we went through in different scenarios. He wants our heart to be able to be open and blossoming and flourishing. And it can't do that when we are holding on to bitterness or when we have pain or fears. A lot of fears in our life come from bad situations that we've been through. And once He heals those emotions from the bad situations, we can walk forward without fear. For example, if we had a bad experience with swimming when we were young and now we can't swim, imagine if Holy Spirit brought up that memory and healed us and helped us to forgive the people involved in the situation. And then now we would be able to swim. I've seen this in my life and other people's lives. There's that fish jumping over there, where when you get healed of the past wound, it dramatically changes your present and helps you live life with more boldness and freedom and liberty to love yourself and love people. So, Holy Spirit, we invite you as our counselor, and we ask you to bring up any hurts, memories, fears, strikes against ourselves that we've chalked up. And we thank you that you're going to do that in the day and the night. Help us to forgive ourselves, Lord. Help us to forgive one another. And we invite you to heal our souls completely so we can prosper and be in good health. All right, God bless everybody. Bye.